Okay, yeah, today is Tuesday. The other day, Sunday, we had the anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. And everyone was always saying, never forget all of the bullshit. But one thing that we always forget, except me, I don't forget, is the September 11th, 2012 attacks. Even though you look at close to 3,000 people here and only 4 people here, you think, well, it's such a minuscule thing compared to the original. And at one point that is true, but for the people who died, okay, that was the worst day ever for them. For the family members of those that died, that was the worst day for them. And at least, say what you will about Bush Jr., good, bad, indifferent, we're all on opinions about him, but at least Bush Jr. didn't lie to the American people after 9/11. Okay, he said it flat out. This is terrorism, Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden, let's go get him. Okay, Bush Jr. didn't stand over anybody's dead body and lie about those attacks. Say what you will about him. Say Iraq is good, Iraq is bad, this is good, this is bad. That's your opinion, but you can't say that. The 9/11-12 attacks, the government refused to help them, and the government lied to cover it up. Yes, they did. Now, what happened was, I would be hired by the department 10 days later. And I had no idea. The department hired us, and I got my job 10 days after this. And I'm sitting home, I'm out of work at the time, and I'm on Facebook, and Dominique Moceanu comes on Facebook, Olympic gymnast, and she said something about there being a threat against the school, or a bomb scare, or a bomb threat, or something like that. And even my nieces, a couple of years ago, they had a September 11th bomb scare at their school. So I turn on Fox News, and I'm thinking maybe Fox would have it on. To this day, I have no idea what school was threatened, if any. If you know, please enlighten me. But I did see that every embassy in the Middle East was on fire. And I saw embassies in Egypt and a couple other places, but the main issue was our consulate in Libya. A consulate is a miniature embassy. It is the same thing as an embassy. It is American soil. It hosts American personnel, and you as an American citizen can take refuge there, God, if something happens to you, but it is a miniature embassy. And I ran back to the computer, and I said, Dom, put on Fox News right now. Every embassy in the Middle East is on fire. And she put on Fox News, and she was spending the rest of the week on Facebook sending out status updates. Oh my God, how horrible. She was heartbroken. Okay, she was heartbroken over it. I was the one who told her how nice I feel. And that was it. And at the end of the week, there was a flag raising ceremony at one of our embassies. I think it was Egypt. And I took the picture, copied it, and I sent it to her to cheer up a little bit. Now, what happened was, Libya was the most dangerous country on earth at that time. Probably still is. But it's in the top 5, put it that way. And Muammar Gaddafi had been overthrown. Yes, he was a terrorist, but people that were loyal to Gaddafi ironically ended up being friendly with U.S. personnel. People that were not loyal to Gaddafi ended up being hostile to U.S. personnel. And I saw the documentary, I read the book, I have the DVD, the Blu-ray, I watched it in theaters, then I got it on Blu-ray, 13 hours, greatest movie of the year. And it's like a spy thriller. Every time you turn around, this guy's abandoning his post. That guy's leaving the gate open. This guy doesn't know how to talk to that guy. That guy said that guy might have been trying to steal the car. Okay? Well, what happened was, one of the security members from the secret CIA annex was at dinner with a CIA woman. Now, the CIA has highly trained, highly educated spies that go in and they talk to the locals and they make business deals with the locals and they learn about what's going on in the country, blah, blah, blah. And the CIA, most of these guys are all college educated, Harvard, Yale, Oxford, Princeton, okay, master's degrees, PhDs, very smart guys, but they have very, very low survival techniques. None of them have any survival training, fighting, guns, not knives, none of that stuff. So they CIA, secret CIA, State Department, whoever they are, they usually hire bodyguards for them who are snipers, SEALs, Ranger, Delta, Recon, okay, you name it. And they were out. They're from the secret annex, which is a joke because it was a small fortress with surveillance cameras and a bunch of English-speaking white people walking around. So, you know, it's not exactly a surprise. Now, for several weeks, if not months, people had been walking around, taking pictures, texting, calling, you know, are they doing map coordinates? Are they giving personnel positioning? They were being followed in the street. Every once in a while, there would be a convoy would go out to protect somebody, or a convoy would go out on a recon mission, and they would be photographing them, tailing them, surveilling them, making faces at them, giving them a middle finger. And on September 11, 2001, the main consulate, which was the ambassador's living, he came in from Tripoli, and the ambassador's living there for a few days on the 9/11 anniversary. And it's a giant mansion. It's nice, pool, lawn, scenery, beautiful place, but it's in the middle of a shithole. And the ambassador is attacked. And everyone and their mother knows he was targeted for assassination. It was not a joke. So the ambassador is attacked. His aide, an Air Force veteran, who's mostly a tech guy, and his bodyguard are separated from the main groups. And they're all scattered. The consulate, the little secret annex area, they see what's going on, they hear what's going on. It's within view of their building, their compound. They're like, we gotta go, we gotta save these guys. You know, it's our job. We said we would. We can't leave our brothers behind. Okay? And they were told, stand down, don't go. And after about 20 minutes to half hour bullshit, Tyrone Woods, their head man, said, fuck this, we're going. Tyrone Woods was a Navy SEAL, Senior Chief Petty Officer, Navy Corpsman, registered nurse, very, very smart man, very, very brave man. They went out. The guy that was at dinner, Mark Geist, with the woman, they came back to the main CIA area. The main group goes to rescue state personnel. Buildings are torched. They can't find the ambassador. They recover the aide's body. They recover the bodyguard still alive. A couple of the guys are still alive. They move him out. They say, we gotta leave the ambassador. He's probably dead. We can't wait here. We'll be fucking killed. They come back, and obviously I'm not going over every minute detail. You gotta watch the movie, read the book. But this is just the gist of it. They go back to the CIA annex, and they basically wall up. Some civilians broke into the compound. A lot of guys were looters, but there were a group of good Samaritans. And that goes to show you that not all Muslims are bad, and it goes to show you that even in the shithole like Libya, you can still find good people. They found a man. They brought him to a hospital. They took out the phone, which ended up being his bodyguard's phone. They ended up trying to call people, communicate, and they ended up telling U.S. personnel, we have a man here. And the man ended up being the ambassador, and he passed away. And until dawn, they had a hole up, and they were fighting off several different barrages. There were several different attacks launched. Okay, and the goal of the terrorists was, now that the main consulate has fallen, everyone's in the CIA annex, go and get them and kill them all. And their goal was to go into that consulate, kill every single American, take every single piece of classified information they can, burn the place to the ground, behead fucking bodies. Okay, they were not fooling around that night. And all of the state personnel and the CIA security contractors, they basically repelled several attacks. And one of the Navy SEALs who was at Tripoli, a man named Glenn Doherty, said, fuck this, I'm going. He was sitting behind the desk hundreds of miles away, excuse me, and he said, I'm going. My friends are out there because Tyrone Woods was a friend of his from the back in the day, and another guy named Jack Silva. Silva is an alias, most likely. Were friends of his back in the day. He's like, I'm not leaving them behind. I'm going there myself. And he got a team together, and he went down there himself in a plane, and they had a convoy together, and they came in around dawn, the time dawn was breaking. There were mortars set up. The mortars came flying in. Tyrone Woods is killed. Glenn Doherty is killed. A man named Dave Ubben, who worked for State Department, was severely wounded in the leg. He almost bled to death. And the man Mark Geist, known as Oz, his arm was split in half. He had this arm hanging down. He's had multiple surgeries to repair the arm. He still has a problem with his fingers. And then a convoy came the next day. The convoy was a whole bunch of Libyans sympathetic to the United States, and they brought the United States personnel to the airport. The non-combatants and the guys who were too injured went in the first plane. The second plane was the combatants and the bodies, and the Libyan people did bring Ambassador Stevens' body back. Someone on Twitter was challenging me the other day, calling me a liar, saying that Hillary Clinton didn't do this, wasn't responsible, and I said, okay, how do you explain lying to the families? She didn't lie to the families. Show me a picture of her lying to the families. So I went out, I found the video of Hillary Clinton lying to the families. Video. And I said, now deny it. She blocked me, this woman. The person who was disputing me. I said, now dispute it. Now deny it. So, in addition to that, now, when we all found out what was going on, they sent, over the course of several months, 600 requests for more bodyguards, for more weapons, for air support, for anything. And they got nothing. And as the battle was going on, they sent several more requests for air support, for infantry, for artillery, for anything, for a fucking hang glider, a hot air balloon. Send something. Nothing. Okay? They're alive today, A, because the security personnel did their job, and B, because there were some Libyans, God bless them, or Allah bless them, however they want to say it, were allied to our cause, and they helped us out. They really did. And they had a Libyan interpreter who was among them. And the other day, I wore my Chris Polanto shirt out. I had my t-shirt from Tanto. Tanto follows me on Twitter. Very, very nice guy. He says a lot of things that are inappropriate sometimes, so obviously he's gonna like me. Who would? And I watched the documentary again. I have it on my DVR, and I watched the movie. And people forget this. I said, this is 9/11 Part 2. I said, this was a terrorist attack on American soil, because that's what a consulate is. A consulate is American soil, targeting American personnel, assassinating an ambassador, killing his aide, killing 2 of his bodyguards. Okay, this was an attack on freedom itself. And no one remembers it. Now, granted, the towers were a horrible thing. Granted, the Pentagon, granted, the airfield in Pennsylvania. I had family that survived 9/11. I have friends that survived 9/11. I understand that. But we have to remember the other September 11th, okay? We have to remember these men, okay? We have to remember the men who died. We have to remember the men who saved them, who saved the rest of the people, okay? Because they were fighting against insurmountable odds. They were there for 13 hours. They didn't know how long they were going to be there. They could have been there for 6 months before they knew. In fact, God forbid, but if it wasn't for the Libyan personnel being allied to them, guess what? They would have been fucking overrun eventually. And, you know, it's a horrible day, but as an American, I personally am proud, because there were people from our country, the United States of America, who were willing to defy orders for their friends, who were willing to risk their own lives for their friends, and who saved a lot of innocent people. And I'm proud of that, I really am. And Glenn Doherty, a lot of people don't realize this, but remember Captain Phillips, the mayor's captain of the ocean, the tanker, the ship that was carrying all the shipping containers. They were hijacked by Somali pirates. The captain was taken hostage. There was a sniper, Navy SEAL sniper, who fucking blew a terrorist's head off. He decapitated the terrorist. Remember that story? That was recently declassified. That was Glenn Doherty. And Glenn Doherty, also, my friend was on the USS Cole after he graduated. And he survived. And he later became a SEAL himself. But Glenn Doherty was one of the SEALs that came to my friend's aid. So on a personal level, I feel for Glenn Doherty because Glenn Doherty was there when my friend needed him. And my friend is alive today. So that's who Glenn Doherty was. The other guys were there. They couldn't go, they were there. They could not go anywhere, they were there. But Glenn Doherty was the guy that was away and he said, fuck this, I'm going in. Okay, he got up and went in. Voluntarily, no one told him to do it. And, it's a horrible thing to lose such great men, but let us not mourn that such great men are dead. Let us thank God that such great men lived. You know what I mean? And I'm getting emotional myself here thinking about this. But, don't forget, my cousin is a major in the National Guard. That could have been him. That could have been him very easily. I have friends that were in Iraq. I have friends in Afghanistan. I have a friend killed in Iraq. That could have been them too. Okay, guys, thank you.